Hello out there, my name is Moschops and I'm a scratch DJ and producer. I've made some albums. Permian Moods was my last album. My first album was Prophecy. There's maybe a little storyline going on there. But I've recently embarked on a new project which has been quite labour intensive, very focused effort to make a scratch record. So basically a skipless scratch record is one where you know when you put the needle on the groove that there's going to be a sound that you can cut. So you don't really need to have headphones to cue up a sample. If you remember, a turntable will have 33 1/3 revolutions per minute. So if you equate that to one beat, it would be 33 1/3 BPM. So if you say that there's 4 beats in one revolution, that would be 133 1/3 BPM, 4 times 33 1/3. So in essence, making a skipless scratch tool, you would sequence at a BPM like 133 1/3 a sequence of sounds that would repeat for maybe 30 seconds, and that would comprise like a band on the record that you could drop the needle on and cut. Now there's lots of scratch tools out there. They're made by all the top DJs, and they're also made by people who you may never have heard of, who are super cool cutters. Now I'm just about to head off to Ireland, where there's an event called Community Scratch Games in Galway, and it's the 10th or the 11th year, actually the 11th year of that, and loads of scratch DJs come down, bringing their skills, bringing their wax, and I am part of that scene, I suppose, if you will. And making this scratch record is my way of maintaining those ties that I have with these people. It's my contribution. And so this video is to show how I went about making it, the challenges, what I wanted to do, and just hopefully express myself to you on the camera. So I might pull out some props, but you bear with me. I found this little Dandy and Beano sticker album here, okay? And the reason I'm showing you this is, well, I'm quite proud of the fact that I completed it. Look, some golden oldies. There's Big Ego. Who remembers Big Ego? Oh, he's great. A few other people that I don't really know. Biffo the Bear. We all know Biffo the Bear. Come on. Pobble. He's one of my faves. Anyway, the reason I'm talking about a sticker album is that a sticker album you complete. You find all the stickers and you stick them in, and then you get that sense of, I finished my sticker album. When am I going to get the next sticker album? I don't know, we'll find out. The thing about samples or collecting sounds for production, whatever that may be, is that there isn't that sense of completion. You're always going to be digging. And if you have a little look to your side here, you can see there's lots of records. I suppose you can dig books as well. There's no real shortage of books or words. There's only 26 letters in the English alphabet, but my goodness, aren't they flexible? Same with like notes, you know, you could argue there's only 12 notes in the scale or whatnot. Well, there's many, many ways that they can be put together, and likewise, there's many ways that you can put a sound or sounds together to create these skipless loops. So we're back on the skipless loops. So here's an illustration. We're just going to use one of the records that came out recently, a Jimmy Penguin and Backtrack put this one together, and it will illustrate what I mean by skipless, in that when the sticker lines up with the needle, oh, you'll have to bleep that.
Yes, yes, yes.
So you know, whenever that sticker's there, a sound is going to come out,
Cut like a guillotine,
which will be on point, ready to scratch. So sure, let me just do a little bit of scratching as a demo. Put myself on the spot here. There, the old R sound. So this beat is produced by Synapsid. We'll get to him later. Let's turn it up a bit. Lots and lots of faders, lots and lots of knobs. I have the controls. There you go. So scratching, I love a bit of scratching. Hopefully you've got an understanding of what a skipless scratch record is and why I wanted to make a video, just to kind of bring you through the process that I discovered. And it's a bit different than I thought it would be. So when I set out to make this scratch record, I was like, right, I've got loads of samples because I've been digging music for a long time, many years. I'm not going to tell you how many years. And I recently, in the context of that, have been using an SP404 sampler. So if you have a look over here, you can see the SP404, and I've got my decks going straight through the SP404 there. So any sound that I find on a record, or whether it's a CD or anything I have through the mixer, I can sample onto this. And I don't think I've got much on it. Actually, I've got one thing.
Hey everybody!
There you go. So I can build up a library of sounds, and I think there's about 96 sample pads available with all the different banks. So what I did is I sat there with a big stack of CDs, going through them to find vocal samples, drum hits, splashes, effect sounds, all kinds of interesting sounds to scratch. And I didn't really kind of be too fussy about it. I just thought, yeah, that sound is maybe gonna work. Once I'd made all those sounds, I sampled those sounds. I put them into Ableton. So Ableton is a software sequencer. I don't know if you're going to see that screen, but you can have a look there. This is Ableton here, all right? So this is like the sequencer that I've been making the scratch tool on, and this is kind of a version of the scratch tool. These little blocks here would be the looped sounds. If I play it.
Come and get what I deserve. Come and get what I deserve. Come and get what I deserve. Come and get what I deserve.
You can see maybe the sound waves in there. So anyway, with the samples being in here, I transferred them into Ableton, and then I named them as they were going in. So I was able to reference the specific sounds that I'd sampled, and then I could look at it objectively and go, what would go well with what? Sometimes you have a sample and it would take up the whole rotation of the record. Sometimes the sample would be very short. I ended up having loads of yo. There's loads of yos in hip hop. So short sounds, long sounds, have a mix of sounds, see what works together, okay? So it's about 1.8 seconds is one rotation of the record. That's what you've got to work with. BPMs, there's 83.3 BPM, which would be 5 beats on a record. Or you could say 133 and a third BPM, or 100 BPM at 3/4 time. There's lots of different ways you could do the math, really. So anyway, all the samples that I found were from various projects, various different music CDs that I had, put them all together, and then just was a process of keep going, make as many as I can. And then when I'd made them, sometimes I'd end up swapping certain sounds from one loop with another, and it would make it sound better. So it's continual refinement of what you're trying to do. Now, all the sounds that you use are going to be fun to scratch, but some are maybe a bit more functional in terms of a skipless, that you can be very creative with it, but you're not trying to be like musical in some sense of the word. You want it to be a scratch tool, not a funky loop project, although you can look at it like that. So that was one of the things that I found tricky, I suppose, in that coming at it from the perspective of producing beats, you kind of want to make stuff that sounds good, but I found that I had to really work with quantized samples. So what I did is I built little loops that were just clicks, basically 3 beats for one group, one rotation, or 4 beats, and then I'd line my samples up to those clicks, so I knew that the scratch DJs, when they came to use it, would have that intuitive sense of where the samples were. So that kind of is the project. It's actually still underway, and I'm going to be working on it this week, going to Bristol on the weekend. It's the 8th of April, the 9th of April 2017, to hook up with Synapsid, who made that beat there. And he's made a few different scratch records before. This is one of their recent efforts, the record, cut and paste records. This one's got beats on one side, scratch sounds on the other, and with his experience, he's helped me out. A lot of other DJs have helped me out in actually some of the techniques to make this thing here. So hopefully I can do some more work here and show you in more detail how the scratch record came about. So nice one. Oh yeah, working title, Iken Hisatsu Cuts. Now Iken Hisatsu means one strike, one kill. That's it. Us.